Hello and welcome to Too Old and Too Slow. And in this episode, I'm going from here in Milan, Italy, all the way down to Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. So today starts at 8 o'clock tonight. So I need to go back to the hotel. I've just bought some lunch. I'm going to go back to the hotel and try and get 5 hours sleep is the plan. We leave the hotel at 8 o'clock at night. We fly down to Rome. It's Rome Fiumicino, an airport we don't go to very often because it's just not set up for business jets. It's just solely set up really for airliners. And then we leave just after midnight for Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. The flight isn't straightforward, mainly for political reasons. So I've got the route here, which you can see is not a straight line. There's lots of problems with it, and we need to be a little bit careful. The radio communication, hopefully across Africa, will be with CPDLC, which is data link with the air traffic controllers. In the past, it used to be HF, which was basically a very crackly, very hard to understand radio. So anyway, let's check out the aircraft, make sure it's fit to go, and load up some fuel and head off for Rome. So the airplane I fly is a Global 6000, and this is a variation of that. So you can roughly fly about 6,000 miles, hence the name. It's a 13-seater. It's can accommodate 2 pilots, and tonight we've got 3 because of the duration of the flight. Here we are, the sun's setting. Just checked the airplane. The airplane seems to be working fine. Refueled. We're just going down to Rome to pick up the passengers and take them on to Kilimanjaro. The flight down to Rome is 45 minutes, and then we've got about 8 hours to go all the way down to Tanzania. I thought Kilimanjaro was in Kenya, but it's not, it's in Tanzania. Anyway, this is the jet. It's running with the ground power unit because we're not allowed to run the APU until 20 minutes before departure. So, let's fire up, let's head off to Rome. This flight's just 45 minutes. I'm flying from the right hand seat, which is a little unusual for me. Usually I fly from the left, but on this flight I'm flying with a captain who's a little more senior than me, so I'm taking the right hand seat. If you look carefully out there, you can see the lights of Rome. Tonight we're flying into Rome's main airport, which is Fiumicino. The airport that we usually use within business aviation is Ciampino, but because of the time of departure, Ciampino will be closed, so we have to use the main airport. This means we've got to fit in with the airliner traffic, and the setup isn't the usual setup we're used to with a small little office. We have to sit and wait for the passengers to be brought to us. Once we land, we need to find our way to our stand, get some fuel. We're going to use quite a lot of fuel tonight because the flight's about 8 hours. Do a walk round to make sure the aircraft is still fully serviceable before we depart, and then hopefully find our passengers and get them on board. In long haul aviation, we tend to do a lot of night flying. The passengers like to get on board and use their travel time as sleeping time. So we've made a couple of beds up in the back, and hopefully they will sleep soundly whilst we fly all the way down across Egypt towards Tanzania. We only flew in the night for about 2 to 3 hours before the sun came up, and what a joy that is to watch another sunrise. And then as we're flying across Kenya, we can just see in the distance Mount Kilimanjaro. We weren't in Tanzania for too long, about 24 hours. and then before you knew it, we were taking off, this time empty, out of Kilimanjaro International Airport and making our way back to Europe. First part of the return flight, I was sitting in the back, so I had great views of the takeoff and then across to Mount Kilimanjaro. And as we head our way back to Europe, that brings the end to this video. It's a slightly unusual episode of Too Old and Too Slow. If you want to see more aviation content, please leave a comment below and I'm sure I can make some. It's always a pleasure to have you on board as we fly around the world, and I'm happy to share my experiences with you. Please remember to like, share and subscribe, and thank you for watching, and I will speak to you next time.